So, at the very outset, I would like to welcome you all on behalf of the International Vedanta Society. And today, as we know, sorry for the interruption. So, today, as we know, that the topic that we have chose to go on live streaming is application of practical Vedanta in our day-to-day life. So the very first thing is that here we would like to discuss about Vedanta first in a nutshell, because before going to the practical application of Vedanta, it is very important to know what actually Vedanta is, so that we can go on to the practical aspect. Because before applying, so firstly, Vedanta, the word Vedanta, it the word Vedanta, it has two words in it. The words are Ved and Anta. So Vedas means infinite knowledge. So, and Anta means the end. So it is the end of infinite knowledge. Now, this term seems contradictory, because on one hand it is told that it is infinite knowledge, and again it is said that it is the end of infinite knowledge. So if it is the end of infinite knowledge, then it becomes finite. So the actual meaning of this is that it speaks of the ultimate knowledge. Now, what is this ultimate knowledge? The ultimate knowledge is to know who I am. Because it is very interesting, like if we have a computer, and a computer is a very useful instrument, it's a very useful tool, it's a very useful instrument. So before going to use it, we must know how to use it. What is the benefit, or what is the process of using a computer? So for that we have to see the manual and go through it. And after we go through the manual in the proper way, then we can come to know the exact way or how to use a computer. In a computer we give different commands. Now, if there is one single mistake in one command, the computer may hang up, or anything may happen to it. So the first thing is, before using, we have to know how to use it. We have to know about the computer itself. Similarly, this world that we use, the world that we see in front of us, the world that we use right from the morning to the end of the day, and in this process from the first day or the first breath of my life to the last breath of my life, What I use is my mind. So, like on days we see that if my mind is not good, waking up, suddenly I see my mind is not good and I'm not feeling good. And on that particular day, I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like working. I don't feel like interacting with people, like communicating with people, going to the office, or maybe cooking, or any other activities, or even my day to day activity. I don't feel like doing it. And on some days, we wake up in the morning and suddenly we see that my mind is so beautiful. It's so good. It's so beautiful. And that day I do so many works. I cook or I go to the office, I do my business, I do my day-to-day activities, and after all these, I even do many other works. I even clear many of my pending works which were pending for the last maybe few days or few weeks or few months, even for a year. So why is that? It is because my mind is good. I feel like energetic, enthusiastic, and everything. You know. So this mind is the main component which I use in my day-to-day activity. So if I cannot manage my mind, or if I don't know how to use my mind in the proper way, then my life will be a hell. It would be a chaos. It would be entirely a chaos. So in order to make my life beautiful, in order to make my life meaningful, in order to make my life worth living, the first thing which I have to do is to know my mind, know what it is actually, and then how to use it in the exact way so that I can be happy, I can enjoy this life. That is the main thing. Because at the end of the day, after doing everything, after doing our day to day work, or whatever our goal is, even on achieving our goal, at the end of the day, what we really want is to be happy, to have a smile on my face. So that is our aim. Whether I am a student, I am a doctor, I am a professor, or an engineer, or a housewife, or anyone. I may live at any corner of the world, I may have any profession, I may have anything. I may be rich, I may be poor, I may be anything. But at the end of the day, what I want is a smile on my face. What I want is bliss, peace, happiness. These are the things that we want, but we search them and we don't find. And after doing so many things, when we fail to find peace, when we fail to find enjoyment in life, the real enjoyment in life, or we fail to find happiness, we become frustrated and our life ultimately becomes a mess. So, a successful life, because why I'm speaking about success, because practical, whenever we say practical, that means one who is practical must be successful. That is our concept of practicality. If I say that he is a very practical man, do you know that that person is a very practical man? That implies that that man is really successful in his life, in whatever field he or she may be. He or she is successful. Similarly, to be successful, the real meaning of success is to be satisfied with myself at the end of the day. That I am satisfied with myself. I'm satisfied with what I have done. I am satisfied with what I have. I am satisfied with what I have achieved. And if this is at the end of the day, I don't get that satisfaction, I cannot smile, I cannot laugh, I cannot enjoy my life, then sorry to say that our life is not successful and I am not a practical man, because our practicality is balanced on, or it is measured on the balance of success and failure. And success means not to earn money, not to earn name or fame. Yeah, those are necessary. Those are, of course, necessary. But ultimate successful means to be satisfied with myself at the end of the day, to be content with myself, so that I can smile, I can laugh, I can be happy with me. That is the main thing. It is me who matters most. If all people are happy with me, but I am not happy with myself, sorry to say, it is not success. It is not practical. So, first we have to know what is Vedanta. As I said, Vedanta means to know about my real self, who I am, to know about this mind which I use each and every moment. For example, now I am speaking, I'm using my mind. You are hearing, you are also using your mind. And when we go further, deeper into it, then we see that behind this mind is another thing which is known as consciousness. That is my real self. So Vedanta speaks about the real self, about the real nature of myself. And now the practical utility. So first thing, what do we mean by practical? Practical undoubtedly means to be successful in life, but that success can not only be measured in terms of my gain, my profit, my name, my fame, my bank balance, my property. No, sorry. It must also be measured in terms of my happiness, my satisfaction, my peace, my content, my being content with myself. So, Vedanta, that is the practicality. And how does Vedanta helps in this? When uh, we were teenagers, a group of young boys and girls, we were going to Bhagavan, we were meeting him, we were listening Vedanta from him daily, morning and evening, we were listening Vedanta from him. And it was so logical, so beautiful. But after a few days, he would always ask us, do you get confidence in yourself? Do you get this strength within you? Do you see that your strength, your inner strength is increasing? And we used to see that, yes, that is. I am gaining self confidence. I am gaining, or I can discover the strength in me. I have got much more strength in me than before. So, Vedanta actually gives us this self confidence, which is very, very, very much necessary in our day to day life, in whatever field we are. It may be in our academic field, it may be in my profession, it may be in any field, but the one most important thing which makes one successful and another unsuccessful is the self confidence, is the belief in oneself, is the discovery or manifestation of the inner strength that we have within us. And Vedanta helps here in this respect, because as it is said, Vedanta, what is actual Vedanta? What does it do? It manifests the hidden divinity within us, that we are all potentially divine. And Vedanta helps us to discover or manifest this divinity. So as I go on manifesting my divinity, I see my self confidence, my inner strength, my conviction in myself, my belief in myself, my the love for one and all these positive things, the positive energies, the positive vibrations, they grow in me, they increase day by day, gradually, they increase in me. And when I can fully discover myself, that is like the total blossoming of a flower gradually. When it blossoms and become one beautiful flower, giving out its fragrance to one and all, that is the discovery of myself. That is the person who I am really is, who I am. So, Vedanta helps in discovering this strength within us. This is within us. This is this innate or hidden strength, potential strength. Vedanta helps in discovering this strength. And the main, you know, yardstick of our success, or how can we measure that whether we are successful or not, is that how we have managed our life. The greatest test or exam, the greatest test which we have to give in our life is life itself. How we have managed it, and how we have handled it, and how we have overcome our, you know, adversities, our sufferings, our struggles, how we have faced it, and how we have overcome it. Vedanta or spirituality plays a very important role in this aspect, because Vedanta always says overcome, do not avoid, face it, and then overcome it. This is a very important aspect of our life. Today we see, the educational uh, standards have gone up, and every almost every house has a graduate or a postgraduate student, or someone doing higher studies, IIT, IIM, so many things. They get, spectacular results they do, and they come out beautifully in their exams. But unfortunately, in the exam of their life, they fail very miserably. They cannot handle the stress, they cannot handle the adversities. So, if I gain 95, 98, 99% in my exams, but I fail in the exam of life, which is the greatest exam, then I'm sorry, I'm not practical. Practical means to come out successful in the exam of life. So, Vedanta or spirituality helps us in this respect. Why? It prepares us for the adversities, and to overcome those adversities with a smile on our face. It just does not prepare us for our adversities. It prepares us, or it prepares ourselves for the adversities with a smile on our face. And it always says that, see, you are alone in this world. This, you know, uncompromisable truth, it introduces us with this uncompromisable truth. We always search for someone, there will be someone or who will be helping us, or like, you know someone to help me, someone there whom I can rely on. Vedanta says no. Till you search for someone else, you are weak. Don't search for someone. In you have infinite strength, you have infinite knowledge, you have infinite strength. Discover that strength, know yourself, manifest that strength, and know that you are enough in yourself. Yeah, if someone is coming by, always welcome, but always know that you are alone in this world. You came alone in this world, you have to go alone in this world. We speak these things, colloquially we say, yes, we know we are all alone in this world. We have come alone and we will go alone. But actually, we don't mean it. Even after saying that we look for someone, that means or that implies that we have not understood it. When I will realize that I am alone, Bhagwan, the founder of the International Vedanta Society, he, when we went to him um, in his relative quarters, which was the cradle, the birthplace and the cradle of the International Vedanta Society. So there he used to say, we were just then 16, 17, life in front of us, and all sorts of fantasies and all sorts of dreams, colorful dreams that come, normally. So it was then at that crucial juncture of our life that we came across Bhagwan. And he told us, he introduced us with this truth, that the day you know, or the day you can understand that you are alone in this world, you will gain strength. You will no more be weak. And Vedanta speaks of this strength, that in you lie infinite strength. Realize it, manifest it, and be strong. And if one is strong, then the exam of life becomes easier, because I know I have to do it myself. Each one of us has to work out our own things. The moment we go to look for others, he will help or she will help, or there will be someone who will come to help me, I am inviting my misery. Once a person came to Bhagwan and he said, as we do, coming to Bhagwan, he said, you please put your hand on my head and please bless me. And Bhagwan, that is the natural thing which happens, with a spiritual person, people coming to him and wants his blessings. But Bhagwan is just not, he doesn't fit into that category in that sense, um, because he is out and out a Vedanti. So he said, why shall I bless you? What do you lack? What you do not have that you need my blessings? You have two hands. There are millions of people who doesn't have two legs, they are lame. There are millions of people who cannot see, they do not have eyes. You have everything. You have been gifted with everything. What do you want? What more do you want? Why do you want my blessing? You keep your hand on your head. Bless yourself. That's the teaching of Vedanta. And it's a very practical teaching to help us to discover the strength within us and to enable us to fight this exam of life with a smile on our face. That's the beauty. We carry on with our lives, we struggle, we drag on with our existence, but we are frustrated, we scream, we cry, we shout, we fight, we quarrel, but still we drag on. But Vedanta says no, do not just drag on with your life, enjoy your life, enjoy your life in the proper way, in the perfect way. That is becoming successful. It hardly matters how much property you have gained or acquired. Yes, you must have some so that you can sustain yourself. That is all, of course, needed. When you have a family, you have to feed them, you have to take care of them. Vedanta does not deny those things. We have a very misconception, it's a great misconception for spirituality that one becoming spiritual, oh, he is going to give up his family life, he is going to give up his job, he is going to give up all the duties and whatever he has or whatever we think is the duty of a family man or something. Oh, he has started meditating, that means he is going to give up his family life and household life. No, it is a wrong notion. Come out of this notion. Know what spirituality is. Know what Vedanta is, and know why we shall practice spirituality. We must know it. It is not a backdated thing. Oh, he is religious. We have a knack of this short. Oh, he is religious, and we begin to, condemn that person. Oh, he is backdated and this and that. Do you know what actual religion is? Do you know what actual spirituality is? Before condemning it, know it and then condemn it. And once you come to know real religion or spirituality and Vedanta, you will fall in love with it. Try it. Give a try. You will see it. You will find the fragrance. You will find the beauty of life. You will start enjoying life. That is why Vedanta or spirituality is so practical. If someone says that, oh, he is a religious person or he is a spiritual person, oh, you are listening or you are practicing Vedanta, it's know that he does not know what religion is or spirituality is or Vedanta is. One who knows Vedanta, he can never deny this world or he can never deny life, because Vedanta means enjoying life in the most perfect way. So it's not giving up life, it is enjoying life. It is not giving up this world, it is seeing the divinity in each and everything. It does not deny the world, it makes this world more beautiful to see, to look, to feel. That is the practical implementation of spirituality. So we have to first know it and then use it. And if we think that spirituality means just closing your eyes, sitting in a temple or in the chapel of your house, or going to a church or a mosque, or just closing your eyes and meditating, worshipping, or doing whatever faith you follow, doing those rituals and following those dogmas days after days, hours after hours. No, you are not correct. Because there's a beautiful, means aspect of the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We speak about the Bhagavad Gita, we speak about it, we say about it, we quote verses from the Bhagavad Gita. But one thing that Bhagavad Gita shows us actually, what Bhagavan said beautifully about Bhagavad Gita, what I came to know from him. Actually, spirituality also gives us a beautiful perspective of seeing this life and this world. We see this world or this life, oh, it's okay. But it gives us the proper vision to see that, okay, you are seeing this world. Now look at this world in this way. So it gives us the perspective, the vision to see the world. So Bhagavan was telling one day, he often tells this, that you read Bhagavad Gita, but have you ever wondered where the Bhagavad Gita was told? It was not in a monastery, not in a cave, not in the mountains, not in the Himalayas. It was amidst a battlefield, which is the most chaotic place or the most restless place which we can ever imagine, where the very next moment millions of people not knowing each other are going to kill each other. They are going to kill each other. The most chaotic place, a battlefield. Amidst that chaos, amidst this battlefield, was told the most beautiful scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, which tells us to be ever engaged in actions amidst intense calmness. That is spirituality. Not giving up my activities, not giving up work, not giving up my, what I'm doing, not giving up this world, but to be ever engaged in my activities which I have with a quiet and a cool mind. And how is that place? It's a battlefield, mind it. The very next moment, millions of people are going to die. They are not going to die of nothing, they are going to kill each other. And in that battlefield was told the most practical of Vedanta, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, if we think that becoming spiritual means giving up our daily activities, giving up this world, giving up our family, no. That means seeing the world in a divine way, seeing the world in a way where we can enjoy each and every moment of our life. That is the practical application of spirituality or Vedanta. And if we go through the Upanishads, which are the scriptures of Sanatan religion, there we will see and we will be astonished to know that the Upanishads, which contains the grandest philosophies of spirituality or religion, they originated from the courtyards of the king, from the courtroom of the kings, not in monasteries, not in any ashrams, but from the courtyards. The kings used to practice it. So, we always say we are very good at giving excuses. We people are very, human beings are very good in giving excuses. So what excuse do we give? In such a world which is very busy, you don't have even time to eat or drink. Where is the time to think about all these things? Philosophy and all these things. But remember, these philosophies, they originated from the court of the kings, who are much, much, much more busy than we are. Than we are. Because the more busy I am, the more calm I need to be, to manage myself, to manage my surroundings, to manage my atmosphere. We are never happy, you will see. We are doing all sorts of activities, but we are never happy with anyone. Why? Because I am not happy with myself. I cannot manage others. Why? Because I cannot manage myself. If I can manage myself, if I can be happy with myself, I will see that I am happy with others. I will see that if I can manage myself, I can manage others. That is Vedanta, what Vedanta says. Manage yourself first, then you can manage others. Rectify yourself first, then you can rectify others. This is another aspect of our practical world. We always want to rectify others. Oh, he's not good. Um, Useless person. We just give a tag, and we like giving such tags. Oh, he's a useless person. But spirituality or Vedanta says that you don't need to rectify others. You rectify yourself first. And the problem with us is this very aspect, that we always want to rectify others. We always want that others to become perfect. Why? Because I know that I am perfect. If there is one perfect person in this world, that is me. And the rest are imperfect. But Vedanta says just the opposite. Rectify yourself, become perfect. You don't need to rectify others. Rectify yourself. And this one aspect, I think it needs a lot of attention and a lot of thinking, because wherever we see there is clash of egos, there are clash of egos. I think I'm perfect, you think you are perfect, and we are clashing our horns, we are locking horns with each other. In one speech, beautifully said by Bhagavan, he was telling that cows have horns. We know that. But he said, do you know that human beings also have horns? So we were all astonished. Human beings having horns? He said, the name of that horn which human beings have is ego. And that horns, at times it itches. It itches. And whenever it itches, we try to find someone with whom we can lock horns, and we can, rub our horns against that. And that is the clash that we have. And the result or the consequence of such clash of egos, we are seeing the whole world. The present situation of the world is but the consequences of locking horns of egos. So what I have to do? I have to control others, rectify others? No. Rectify yourself. It is a very hard thing, I say. It is easier said than done. It's a very hard thing. It's very easy to rectify others, to count. If you ask me, I can count in one moment 10 fault of yours. But to find one fault of mine, I will need a whole day. And even at the end of the day, I will think, no, I think I don't have any. This is so hard. So, rectify yourself. Because as I go on rectifying myself, I will see everything getting rectified. This is a pure science. This is a pure science. And that is why Swami Pavitrananda ji, master of Bhagavan, he said that this path is the path of self-rectification, and that self-rectification is only possible when one thinks that I should and must rectify myself. This is the hardest thing. This is the hardest thing. Why? Because in order to rectify myself, I must first admit that I am wrong. My ego won't allow me. My ego will always, like itching of the horn, it will say, no, 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 no. I am not wrong. That person was wrong, and it was because of that person that this all began, this chaos began. It won't accept. And spirituality means guiding our mind, shaping our mind, gradually enabling our mind with that capacity, with that strength, with that power, where we can become so much strong that we can admit that yes, I was wrong. This needs a great, great strength. To slap someone, you don't need strength, but to admit that I was at fault, it was my fault, it needs a great strength, I tell you. And the moment, the day we begin this rectification, the moment we begin to admit, yes, this was my fault and I need to rectify myself, the world will certainly become beautiful for us. Try it. Today, the International Vedanta Society has been preaching this message of, Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta or monoism, and this message of love, the scientific message of oneness and love to the whole world. But it all began with a single person, Bhagavan. He just began with, and how did he begin with? What process? Rectifying himself. It was not rectifying others. He sat quietly with the words of his master, and he began his process of self-rectification. He began the process of self-refinement. And today, this Vedanta society is working all over the world. But had he gone to rectify others at the very first moment, Vedanta society would not have even been born. But for that, you need a great strength. There is a very beautiful saying of Buddha, that it is easy to conquer a kingdom, to have victory and to win a land, to gain victory over a kingdom, to conquer a kingdom. But to conquer yourself, it is much, much, much more hard. And Vedanta gradually manifests this strength, but this strength is within us. We don't have to go somewhere to bring the strength. It is within us. We just need to manifest it. We just need to manifest this strength. And another practical thing of Vedanta is that it does not say that you will always succeed. No. It says, Vedanta says that you may fail 1,000 times, but again you have to get up 1,000 times. It is so beautiful that in our attempt, in whatever field we may, we may fail 1,000 times, but 1,000 times we must be ready to again get up and again fight, again struggle. Okay, I failed. It's okay, but I will again try. So, till the moment I give a try, I'm not defeated. I failed, but I'm not defeated. I am defeated that moment when I accept my defeat, that okay, it's enough, I will not struggle anymore. That is my defeat. But failing is not a defeat. Failing or failure is a process in the path of self-refinement, in the path of self-rectification. That is in the process, that is a process in the path of self-rectification. I may fail 1,000 times and I will again be there to get up and again try to walk 1,000 times. That is the beauty. But in today's life, we see that we cannot take this. If I fail in one exam and I don't get admission in one of the best universities, I commit suicide, I become depressed, my life becomes a hell, and I think, what will one think of me? What will my relatives say? Oh, I did not become successful, I could not pass it, I could not. These are all nonsense things. It is you who matters most. That is the main thing. It is not any other person or any other one in this universe who matters. It is you yourself who matters most. Know this, and don't try to please others. Just try to see what you want and what you want to do, and then persevere. Go on with it again and again, again and again, again and again, till you succeed, till you reach the goal. And that is what has been said in one of the most beautiful of Upanishads, in the Kathopanishad. It has been said, Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata. That means arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. You may fall. It is not said that you will not fall and that your one failure is the end of life. No. This is what we think today. My one failure is the end of my life. I commit suicide. I take something which makes my life a hell, and this and that and all sort of things. But Vedanta says you may fail 1,000 times, not once or twice, but again you have to get up on your feet and again try, again, commence your journey. That is the strength that spirituality provides. That is the practical implementation of spirituality in our day-to-day life. That it instills us, it gives us that strength with which we can win the exam of our life, the struggle of our life, the battle of our life. That is Vedanta, that is spirituality, and that is the practical implementation of spirituality. Now, success, as I said, we often measure, unfortunately, practicality with success in our life. That is one very of our life that we want to, or we always measure practicality with success. And we think that it is directly proportional. The more successful I am, the more practical I am. The more practical I am, the more successful I am. Unfortunately. Okay, let us assume this is. Then what does Vedanta do? What does spirituality do? It helps us enjoying this life. It helps us become successful. In what way? How? Now, if we consider, suppose, the unit of success as a jackfruit. I think you all know about jackfruit. That's a tropical fruit which you also find in India, and this is the time when it will ripe. In the month of May, June, July, and it's very tasty. It's very sweet, and they are very big in size. So if we think that this life is tasting a jackfruit, enjoying life means enjoying this jackfruit, which is very juicy, very sweet, very beautiful. But life has its own thing. It has got its ups and downs. Life is not a straight line, or it's not a gradual or a continuous climb up. There are ups and downs in life, and that is for everyone. For everyone. So now, if this enjoying the jackfruit means enjoying life and becoming successful, successful means we think that we are enjoying everything, everywhere. We have a good flat, good car, good this, good business, good money, good property, everything good, everything fine. So if we take this as the jackfruit, eating of the jackfruit, enjoying the jackfruit, Now, if I get a jackfruit, a ripened jackfruit, which I said is very tasty really, and it is given to you to eat, what will we try to do? We would try to just open up the jackfruit and eat it. But if we do so, getting the jackfruit, if we just break the jackfruit and try to eat it and enjoy it, we will create a mess. Sorry. We will create a mess. Why? Because the jackfruit, though it is very tasty, it is very sweet, it's very juicy, very fine, but it has got a sticky adhesive like thing with it. So when I put my hand in the jackfruit, those sticky things get over all my hand, and my hand becomes sticky. And with that hand, whatever I go to touch, that becomes sticky. If I touch a glass, it will become sticky. If I touch a table, it will become sticky. Whatever I touch, because that is in my hand, it is all over my hand. So no sooner do we get a jackfruit, we just jump into it, opening it up and eating. But just after a few minutes or a few seconds, we will see that our lips, it, it got sticky, our hands got sticky, and everywhere where we touched, unknowingly, got sticky. And after a few seconds, we can no more enjoy the jackfruit. On the contrary, the jackfruit becomes a problem for us. This is how is life. We jump into life to get out the most of it. A young lad who has a life in front of him, he just thinks, okay, now this is life, I've got my time, this is my time, so I will jump into it and I will do this, I will do that, and he has all sort of things in his mind, all colorful things in his mind, and he jumps in it. For some time he becomes successful and this and that, and then with those sticky things, because the world has got its own way, its problems, its ups and downs. And as he has not learned to deal with the ups and downs of life, with the stress and strain of life, with the adversities of life, that life which was meant to enjoy and which was actually a thing for enjoyment for him gradually becomes a problem for him, which with every passing day grows bigger and bigger, till a point when everything he sees goes out of his control. The total life is out of control. And his life itself, the life itself becomes a problem. But the life was not meant to be a problem. It was meant to be a source of enjoyment. It was to be enjoyed. But that very thing which was meant for my enjoyment becomes a problem in itself, which I cannot solve, because without knowing the technique of solving the problems of life, without knowing the techniques of handling the adversities of life, without knowing the process of managing the ups and downs of my life, I have plunged into life to make out the most of it. Unfortunately, what happens is my life becomes a mess, and I want to get rid of it very badly. But then I'm so much into it that neither I can go in nor I can come out. I oscillate in between. I'm left hanging in between, with all sorts of uncertainties and everything. So first, know it. Know the technique of enjoying life. That is the practical application. spirituality applied in our day-to-day life. That spirituality which enables us to be strong, to be self-confident, to fight life with its all its adversities and everything, with all its ups and downs, to face it and overcome it. That is life. A life must have ups and downs, else it's a monotonous thing. But then we must also know the art of overcoming the odds of life, with the art of overcoming the adversities of life. The life is the greatest teacher. The life is also the greatest exam, the greatest test of in itself. And spirituality enables us with these beautiful things, with this beautiful strength, where it says that in you lie infinite strength. And remember another thing which is very important: real spirituality or Vedanta does not admit any sin. It says there is no sin, there is no sinner. And it is beautifully said that it is a sin to call someone a sinner. What it admits that there is weakness. Suppose some person is taking, he is corrupted and he is taking bribe. Now I will say that man is committing sin. Vedanta says no. As I said, that it gives us a different perspective of life. How does it say it? That he is not committing a sin. He is weak. He has weakness for money. So whenever he sees money, he compromises with it. And he becomes corrupted. But if he can overcome that weakness, he will no more take any bribe. So that is the beauty of Vedanta. Whenever you call him a sin, or he's a very bad fellow, and you reject him, the more you reject, the more he will become corrupted. The more he will feel himself insecure, inferior, and the more he will go deep into it, the deeper he will go into it. But if you can tell him that, see, you are not a sinner, what you are doing is that you have a weakness for money. If you can overcome this weakness, then you will control money. You will not be its servant, you will be its master. And remember, power, money is a power. So power is a bad master, but a very good servant. So be a master. Be a master first of yourself, first of your mind. Be a master of yourself. Be a master of your mind. Become perfect. Rectify yourself. Enjoy the world. Apply Vedanta in your life, in each and every aspect of your life, in each and every moment of your life, and then cherish the world. It will be really wonderful. Give it a try. I would like to thank you all for joining this wonderful session with us. I thank you all on behalf of the International Vedanta Society, and we will be conducting such live sessions, and you will be notified before each session. And just before ending the session, we'd like to sit quietly with our eyes closed, just contemplating for just a minute, and after that we will end this session. Thank you. Thank you very much.